kiddos are gone again, and I cut this video a little bit too soon. Listen to this shit.
Congress, the White House, and the Pentagon. And so at the National Press Club, we're going to make it quite clear that the U.S. government now has everything they need to pursue this and get to the bottom of it and correct this crisis. One of the other items that we would be clearly claiming, Derek, which I think is very important, in terms of who has standing, everybody in the United States of America who has been paying for oil, gas, and coal, or living with polluted air, or has had their economic fortune set back by the cost of those items, would also potentially be plaintiffs, which means 330 million people could be plaintiffs to this, in the sense that everyone who is currently locked in what we call the lost century, where these technologies, that movie is coming out June 6th, by the way, this documentary film, are really have been in a very real way victims. Our fortunes, our health, our prosperity, and our freedoms have been curtailed by an unelected, illegally run group of people who have viciously suppressed, through all means necessary, including confiscation and murder, technological breakthroughs that should have corrected these climate and pollution and poverty problems decades ago. So, this has the greatest significance to the national security and the future of not just the United States, but of course we're in America, so that's where we can prosecute this case, but in the world, every citizen of the planet. And I think that's where we have to begin to look at this in a very broad way. Now, what damages we might be claiming, because you mentioned that whatever damages are, the judgment can be treble or 3 times what they are. It would be almost incalculable. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Yes, that's certainly it is the biggest legal story in human history, and the damages are almost incalculable. You cannot calculate the cost to human advancement, I think, that has come with suppression of these advanced energy technologies, propulsion technologies, which will solve definitively the global climate change crisis in our time, and could have done so decades ago had they not been suppressed. Part of the power, I think, of RICO is that the action can be filed both against the individuals involved in the criminal enterprise,
right,
or in the name of the criminal enterprise itself. So it allows essentially for individual defendants to plead and hopefully secure their individual release should they, believe that they were acting in such a way that was without knowing criminal intent. By which I mean...
All right. So, yeah, before, I'm just looking at Russia and looking at all this shit going, oh my God, these guys are the bad guys. But actually, the United States of America, Great Britain, Rome, Italy, and Israel are actually the bad guys. And if I had to throw a 5th in there, it'd be fucking Canada. Literally. These Canadian-based shows like The Handmaid's Tale, The Boys, Supernatural. It's like if this were Plants vs. Zombies, which it is. Just light versus dark beings, The United States is a fucking gargantuar. And Canada is a little imp that's throwing demonic shit down here. And it's really, really bad. It looks really bad. I used to be the proudest patriot. I used to love this country so much, and I still do. But the mirror of that is I fucking hate it here. It's disgusting. The biggest threats to this whole entire world are the United States government and the United States citizens doing nothing about it. Doing nothing. Yahweh equals Enlil. They're lying about Jesus. Period. This is sickening. This makes me so mad. And I really hope people look into this shit, because it really looks like heaven and hell are all inside of our minds. It looks like all are one. Everything is God, including the bad guys. The bad guys are distorted, fallen pieces of God that need eventually healed or chased the fuck away. If anything is making this planet hotter and really fueling global warming, it is our fear and our anger energy. This world looks like a fucking beacon to these bad guys. And so do the pictures of our children that we post online. As above, so below, right? Every single thing that we are posting on the internet is available on the dark web. And if you are spiritually asleep and you don't know what the fuck is actually going on here, and you cannot see God in your children's eyes, the good guys can, and so can the bad guys. I have never posted a fucking picture of my children since I woke up. I never will again. Literally, it is bad. We are feeding our children to darkness. And because adults don't want to man up and look at this shit, this is why our children are fucked. If millennial age, 33 to 43-year-olds, especially, the highest bunch of fuck-ups, right? Highest rates of living at home with their parents, like myself. It's for a reason. Literally. Millennials have been beat the fuck up. They've been called crazy. They've been called losers. And it's because you have to wake up and save your family. If I didn't live at home with my dad when I went through this and I had to pay my house payment, this cost me 5 months of work. I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to work again. This fucked me up so bad. And the disability office doesn't seem to think that I'm crazy enough to receive disability through my hardest time. Okay, I went right the fuck back to work. So, no doctor I've ever met would ever call me schizophrenic. I was fucking telling him, I'm like, maybe I'm a schizo. Maybe I have schizoaffective disorder. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with me. Like, I think that I'm fucking really, you know, maybe I am fucking crazy. Things that I experience and the things that I'm going through and the dreams that I have and the premonitions that I have, like, maybe I'm fucking crazy. Nope. My doctor would never agree to that. So now I'm going to go to a psychiatrist. And, I can't wait to get my results. I can't wait to get my Akashic reading. And, if all goes well, I'm going to go back to this fucking hellhole called Mon Valley Behavioral, the nut ward in Mon Valley Hospital. And I'm going to explain to these motherfuckers exactly why. Within the first 5 minutes after the show Supernatural drove a lot of its fans, starseeds, to the hospital, because when their eyes saw the COVID episode, the everything episode, the fucking Akashic records are in there. I cannot believe the shit that is real in that show. When these confused poor people ran to the nut ward because these shows started fucking with their minds as they're supposed to, within 5 minutes, these doctors are going, do you think you're a prophet of God or something? Do you think you're a prophet? I fucking explain to them that, oh yeah, there's never been a more prophetic time in history than right now, and you actually were looking for fucking profits, pissed off ones